I've always been an entrepreneur, I've always been an educator, I've always been an artist. Well, thank you for saying we're mid-40s, I'm 50, but yeah, I think reinvention and change is, the only thing constant is change. I think we know that. I think at the heart of who I am, I'm still the same. I've always been an entrepreneur, I've always been an educator, I've always been an artist. I think the core of me and the integrity of me still is the same. It's always about creating, connecting, and communicating. So that remains the same. The platforms have shifted from the theater to live events, GameFi, to now AI and technology. So the platforms change and I constantly feel that I need to keep up and learn new things. But the core of myself remains. I'm curious, I'm humble, I lean in, I have a sense of joy, I want to learn, I want to create, I want to collaborate. I think all of this I've stayed true to who I am. I run my company in very much the same way. I always want to lean in and collaborate. And so I think that the key to reinvention is to realize that honestly in today's day and age, there is no constant. I think everyone truly needs to take reinvention very seriously. But I think what we should hold on steadfast is our sense of values, our sense of purpose that keeps us grounded, and good health is really good wealth. And from there, everything else can emanate. Structured and go with the flow, meaning I will wake up, so let's say my day starts at 9, then I will wake up at 6 to ensure that I have my workout. But then go with the flow in that, okay, if today's class is not so fun, or maybe I'm not feeling strength training, then maybe I'll do Pilates. And if I'm not feeling HIIT today, then maybe I'll go do strength training. Or if today I'm feeling like, I don't think I want to do strength training, but I feel like want some cardio, then I'll go hiking. So within the 2-3 hours that I dedicate to exercise, I am quite go with the flow with what I'm doing, as long as I get my movement in, because like I said, movement is medicine. But what is very structured is that I always make sure the first thing I do, without fail, no compromise, every single morning, rain or shine, or double rainbows, is to ensure I block time off to wake up. So, for example, if my meeting today starts at 7 a.m., then I'm going to wake up at 4:30 or 5 a.m. to get my exercise in. So no compromise on the exercising, but within that, I have free reign and I go with the flow with what I kind of feel like doing. That is true. I am constantly working across time zones. So fun fact, between Singapore and Hawaii, we're 18 hours apart. So my team actually doesn't have an excuse to not work with me, because I always say in Hawaii from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. is Singapore's 9 to 5 a.m. So they work from 9 to 5 and I'll work like from 9 to 5 and 3 to 11 as well, right? So I'll work around the clock because I have my teams from Brazil and Vietnam and Philippines and Singapore and the US. And so I think I naturally have a natural high. When I was younger and I'll go out clubbing, people think I'm on drugs, but I truly was just naturally high. So I think I'm blessed to have good genes to be naturally high. But I also think that I often always don't want to burden anyone else with my day or drag them down with low energy. So I always make sure when I walk in the room, I give my best. I think that is a form of courtesy. I think that's a form of, me giving my best to the world, to the camera, to my audience. And then it goes back to the health, the wellness, the fitness, the supplements, the food that you eat. I think all of this really help to generate a lot of energy for me and a lot of joy, and animals. I surround myself with a lot of nature and animals as well. I don't know if this will go down well with your viewers, but I truly think that balance is overrated. And I don't mean this, lightly. I mean, when we exercise, we put our body through stress. That's fundamentally what exercise is, right? You stress out your muscles, you put your body through stress, and then you recover, and then it gets stronger. But this whole process is very chaotic, right? It's not about staying in equilibrium forever. And that's the philosophy that I hold to life as well, that sometimes in life you have a lot of stress and then sometimes you kind of relax and, it is in ebbs and flows. And so that is my attitude towards also living in Singapore and Hawaii. In Singapore, I'm very type A, move really fast, I'm multitasking, I'm doing a ton of things at any one time, and I'm very energetic. And I think the speed and the pace that everyone around me moves at the same speed, right? Just jump on the MRT, right? Everything moves really fast. And in a way, it hones a different muscle, right? It hones speed and agility and adaptability and flexibility, and you've got to be fast and agile. And so I treat Hawaii in the exact opposite vein, in the sense like training a different muscle, right? It trains you to have a sense of, you relax into the situation a little bit more. You're a little bit more thoughtful, you're more compassionate, you're more empathetic, you think deeper, you allow yourselves for more opportunity to connect, communicate, and the pace is very different. So I see it as, the analogy I would give is like working different muscles. It's like working a big muscle group, working a small muscle group, working your biceps, working your glutes. I mean, it's different. You got to train. And then it's like doing cardio and then doing strength training. So that's really how I see myself. When I work in Singapore, speed, 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 super fast, go, 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 go. Actually, that's actually what I do. When I go back to Hawaii, I do my longer term planning. I have a lot of my team meetings. I'm planning, I'm building. And when I'm in Singapore, go, right? Meeting clients, meeting meetings, meeting deadlines, coming for shoot, interviews, go. And I think, and I'm not joking when I say this, I think I find my balance on the plane. It's kind of like when you're in between traveling for 24 hours, I sort of just, zone out, watch a couple of movies. But truly, I think what is most important is like being mentally balanced, right? Physically, we put our bodies through the ringer, but I think mentally, that's why I go back to the daily exercise, daily meditation is really important. So much so that whatever city I'm in, be it Singapore or New York or Toronto or Bhutan or Hawaii, I'm always going to try to be at my best for every single person that I connect with.